Hey right guys, TheTrophyMuncher's Joe here, and today we are going to be ranking 19 individual characters from the show Succession, which wrapped up yesterday, still playing on my mind. I was lying awake in bed at night just like, yeah, that was a show that's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time, and I miss it already. I actually do miss Succession already, but I'm planning my rewatch. It's going to happen. Like I say, Succession and Barry both wrapped up on the same day, so tragic day for HBO because we lose both of those shows and we get The Idol next week, so that's going to be exhilarating. But yeah, 19 characters from Succession. I thought we'd just rank these. We got I Will Die For You, so characters that I die for, characters that are my family, trust me, like they are my family, characters that we need to protect, characters that exist, and then characters that are just poo on my shoe. So yeah, a lot of characters in suits here, so that's good. We'll start off with like just the smaller characters, like the ones they just pass and go, maybe in a few episodes here and there. I could have added about 30 characters if I really wanted to, but a lot of them I just didn't really have an opinion on, like Sandy. It's just like, okay, Sandy, yeah. Characters like that, so I didn't worry about everyone, but I thought I'd go for ones that I at least have some sort of opinion on. So we'll start with Nate. I really thought him and Shiv were going to hook up again at some point in the show. Oh yeah, full spoilers for Succession if you haven't watched the finale. Full spoilers, of course, for the entire show, so do be warned. I'm going to put him in They Exist. I kind of love that he popped back up at the end of season 4 for like an episode or two. But yeah, he never really left much of an impact. I think the most we ever really had of Nate was definitely in season 1. And then I think he cropped up a little bit in season 2, but nothing major. I thought maybe he'd be a bigger player than he was. I mean, he was in his world, just not from like our perspective. He wasn't that much. So, yep, Nate, he exists. Ewan, my boy Ewan. I've never loved Ewan, but I don't know, I've always found him quite an interesting character. He's like one of the few that would just tell Logan to his face how much of a prick he is. I mean, there was a rare few characters that would do that. Ewan being one of them. Granted, he was his brother and had grown up with him, but I really liked his... I'm not sure on the actor's name, but he's in 24 as well. He plays Jack Bauer's dad. But I'm not sure on the actor's name, but his performance during Logan's funeral as well, like the speech he gave, that was very well performed, very well done. So, yeah, I do like Ewan. I'd probably put him in Protect Them. Let's protect Ewan. He seems cool. I don't love him. He's not like part of my family or anything, but we'll protect Ewan. He can stay around. No issues with him, really. So, right, let's go with Carolina. I like Carolina. She's, correct me if I'm wrong, she has been in it since season 1, so she's always been there. Not had the most amount of screen time. I'm sure if you add all her scenes and lines into one, it probably adds up to like 10 minutes or something in the show's entirety, so not a lot, but she's always been pretty cool. I'd put her in Protect Them. I like the idea of her and Shiv kind of still sticking out together in some way, like knowing how it ends. Like Shiv's still going to probably be part of that world in some way, so I can imagine her and Carolina like being maybe not best mates, but hanging out maybe a little bit. So yeah, she's cool. Rather, she's a bit mixed for me. I like her, and then some scenes I disagree with what she's doing when it comes to like Kendall and the kids as well, but I feel like most of the time she does kind of get it. Like, especially in season 4, when she's like, oh yeah, I'm taking the kids away from New York, basically. And Kendall was just like, oh, you're being over the top and over dramatic. And then you cut to like Roman being beat up in the streets and stuff. It's like, I don't think so. So, I don't think she's a bad person or anything. But yeah, she just kind of exists for me. I'd probably put her there. Never loved her. Never hated her. She just kind of exists. So, all right, let's go with Jess. Now, Jess, kind of like Carolina, very limited amount of screen time. However, the face palms she always pulls off whenever Kendall's on some weird rant about rabbits or something. I'm going to bump her up to my family. Yeah. I wouldn't die for Jess, but she's part of the family. If they do a spin-off show about any character, have it be Jess. Her leaving Kendall, which is kind of hilarious that even Jess left Kendall at the end of the show, but yeah, just leaving that world and then going to work somewhere else, and we see Jess rising up the ladder. I'll take that. No, they're going to do a spin-off. I assume it's going to be about Tom and Greg, but we'll see. I don't think they should do a spin-off. Matson. Do I want to save Matson? You know what? We'll do Matson. It helps that Alexander Skarsgård is the actor playing him, because Skarsgård has never, from what I've seen, put in a bad performance. Big Little Lies, True Blood, he was great in. There's something. Oh, The Northman was the other thing I was thinking of. So yeah, he's been great in those. I have seen him in like Tarzan, but I think Tarzan was just like a bad film. Don't think he was necessarily bad in it. So yeah, that was a bit of a rogue choice for him, I think. But yeah, he's been great in everything I've seen him in pretty much. So there's no difference here. Wow, he's done a lot of HBO shows: True Blood, Succession, and then everything else that I just mentioned. So yeah, Big Little Lies and all that, they're all HBO. Let's put him in. I don't think he's like likable. I don't think he's necessarily likable, but he is a very interesting character. He was the character that was most similar to Logan. Like I would imagine Logan was in like his younger years or something. That'd be a cool spin-off, actually, seeing Logan in like the younger years, like how he kind of built up the company. But again, we'll see. I'm torn between Protect Them and Family. I think character-wise he's Family, but likability-wise bumps him down a bit. Like Jess is just very likable and a really good character. So I'm going to put him in Protect because he does bring a lot to the table. Let's put him above you. And yeah, maybe these like way these are titled doesn't really make sense because it's just ranking the characters, but we'll put him there. Let's go with Stewie. Stewie's part of the family. We love Stewie. I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get much of him in season 4. I felt like we got 3 individual scenes with Stewie in. One in the finale, one in like Ep 3, and then he popped up randomly in Ep 5 or something. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. He's not one of the main characters, so he's not going to have a lot of screen time anyway, but I thought he'd kind of be in it a little bit more in season 4. Like just a few more scenes or something, but yeah, because again, he's one of these characters that has been there since the very first. Oh no, maybe not the very first episode. Maybe like episode 2 or something. Maybe it was episode 3. I'm losing track now, but he was in it very early, so it would have been nice to have a bit more of him. We've seen that image floating around as well of his stunt double in the board meeting. I don't know what that's about. It's kind of hilarious. All right, who are we picking on next? Let's go with Hugo. I was going to call him Milo. I was like, he's not called Milo. Hugo exists. I could argue put on my shoe, but I kind of like that he barked at Kendall. That gave him some brownie points. I'll put him there. He's fine. I don't. When it comes to like the main group of like the old people of the oldies, he's the weakest one out of the four for sure. So yeah, sorry Hugo, you're going down to they exist. Nothing. The best part about his character was that he barked at Kendall. That's it. All right, Jerry. I shall save Jerry. Let's do Carl because I'd probably put him third best out of these 4 oldies. People really love Carl. I think he's like a fan favorite. Not for me though. I don't know. I think he's a really good character, but I don't know. I kind of wanted him to get fired a little bit. I wanted to see Carl get fired, like kind of how like Shiv was really. Oh no, Shiv and Carolina wanted Hugo to get fired actually, but you can throw Carl in the mix as well. He exists. I'd probably put him at the top of they exist to be fair, but I won't protect him. I ain't protecting Carl. He'd stab me in the back like the first chance he gets. So yeah, he can get gone. Now my second favourite out of the oldies is Frank. He again didn't really do much in season 4, but he's always felt like a bit of a father figure in some way to Kendall. I wish maybe they kind of built on that a little bit more because it felt like that maybe early on that Frank could become that, and he never really did. It was just like if there's any other character other than Logan that maybe could become like Kendall's father, it would be Kendall or Stewie. Actually, Stewie would kind of make sense as well. Let's protect Cole. Let's put him there. Yeah. Not Cole, Frank, sorry. And then Jerry. Jerry is part of the family, absolutely. We're going to put her at the top there. Again, didn't really do as much in season 4 as I wanted her to maybe do. She did way more in the first 3 seasons, so I won't say her character fizzled out, but she just didn't, bring much to the table in season 4. I think she got fired by Roman, and then was going to sue Roman, and then got a big payout. So she came out very rich. Good for Jerry on that, and then is still... I think I saw a tweet saying that she got fired 2 times and still is in the position she was in when she started. So she's done well for herself. So I don't think she's going to be too upset about the payout she got with that one. All right, let's go with Marsha. Bit of a crush on Marsha, I think. I don't think. I actually, yes. They're a bit of a crush on Marsha for sure. I think that's understandable. So we're going to put her in... No, we're not going to do that. We'll put her in... I did like that she kind of got all of Logan's exes together. Oh, no, she didn't do that. It was the mom who I actually didn't add to this list. She would be in They Exist probably, but they got all the exes together for the funeral. I thought that was kind of cool. And she said, Logan would hate this or something. So that's quite good of her. We'll put her in Protect. I think maybe at the bottom of Protect them. Yeah, she's a bit evil, bit of a slight. I thought in season 1 maybe she'd have, again, something more going on behind the scenes, but... Not really. She got a big payout as well. She's rich. She's sorted. And she has a son as well. Her son randomly came in, like, at 1 of the show. Never seen again or mentioned again. Not that we needed him, to be fair. Alright, we've got the main crew here. I'm definitely missing someone of the main crew. I'm not sure who. Definitely missing someone. Sure they're not super important or anything. Let's go with Willow. I'm torn. It's either I would die for Willow or she's part of the family. I'm going to go part of the family at the top. Very close. I would almost die for Willow. I feel like if Willow was about to be shot, I'd make like a bit of a reflex to jump in front of the bullet, but I wouldn't fully commit. I feel like that's kind of how I feel about Willow. Almost there. Not quite though. So yeah, we love Willow. I love that she kind of stuck with Connor the entire show. I thought maybe there would be a few times where maybe she kind of would leave, but she stuck by him, made him a better character as well. So, and has like at the end kind of saying like she's got her own play going on as well, which we knew was one of her dreams from early on in the show. So that's good stuff. Maybe we'll get a Willow spin-off, who knows? Willow and Connor. Let's go with Greg. All right, I understand people love Greg, and I loved Greg as well. Season 1 and 2 mainly, I really loved Greg. Season 3 was pretty good as well. Season 4 though, Greg really, I won't say brought nothing to the table, because he definitely did. Like he threw Shiv under the bus, he's thrown everyone under the bus, and he ended up pretty well as well, like being Tom's right-hand man in some way. So he's done well for himself, but in terms of likability, I can't with Greg. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't love Greg. When it comes to the main, I feel like these are the main kind of 6 now. Greg being one of them. He's the weakest for me for sure. I'd put him in They Exist, like at the top of They Exist. Because he did do a lot in like season 1 and 2, but he just kind of stayed the same, and he's like a bit foolish. I like that he kind of slapped Tom back in the finale show, and like instead of him just sat there taking it like he always did throughout the 3 seasons. So that was kind of good. But yeah, he exists for me. He's fine. Also, I'm like kind of hoping we don't just get a spin-off of Greg. God, I don't know if I could bring myself to watch that. No one wants a spin-off of Greg. Alright, let's go with Logan. My boy Logan. I was not worried. When they killed him off in episode 3, that was obviously a huge shock and surprise for everyone, I think, especially because of the way they did it. And then going forward from there is like, how are they going to... Logan's such a huge part of the show and such a huge presence, and Brian Cox does such an incredible job playing him. He has like such a commanding voice and commands every scene that he's in as well. So not having him in the show, it could have not worked. It could have ruined the show in some way, but it didn't. Luckily, I think season 4 is actually the best season of the entire show somehow. And Logan was in arguably 2 episodes. Episode 3, I know he's in a little bit, but not really. That's just him on the floor dying. So the show worked without him, but I'm so happy we got those 3 seasons of just him being a badass, being a prick. Don't get me wrong, being an absolute prick, but likability wise, he's absolutely down like here. Don't get me wrong, but as a character, he is one of the best characters of the entire show. I won't say he's the best character of the show, but he is one of. So, my family, I'm going to put him in my family, probably. I know you could argue there, yes, he's, beat up Roman, he's shat all over Kendall, he gave Shiv loads of promises that he couldn't follow through on. I get it, trust me. But there's no denying that Logan is a great, great character. Not just in Succession, but in TV history, he's like one of the greats for sure. So I'm going to put him there, below Willow. Because Willow's just way too likable to be bumped down by Logan. But yeah, Logan's just a boss. Alright, these four I think are going to go on the same tier. So I'll do my... This is hard now. This is hard with these four. At some point in every episode, my mind changes on, out of these four, who is my favourite. Always changing. Like season 1, Kendall was my favourite. Season 2, Shiv was my favourite. Season 3, Tom was my favourite. And then I'd say season 4, Roman was my favourite. I genuinely think that each season, one of these four has been like my favourite at some point. Yeah. That's mad. Not many shows can do that. So I've like, usually you just have that one character that you'll ride or die with all the way till the end and they're your favourite. And there's like the fan favourite of like Sawyer from Lost, for example, or Hurley from Lost is like always a fan favourites. But here I just feel like everyone loves these four. Tom maybe not so much. I think some people are maybe a bit mixed on Tom. Actually in Shiv as well. People are really hating Shiv at the moment. Roman and Kendall though, I feel like most people, like 95% of people, love these two. I love all four. If I had to go for my fourth out of them, if I'm being honest, it's Kendall. I know that's blasphemy. Either of them I pick is absolute blasphemy for who my fourth, third, second, and first would be. But for me, I think it is Kendall, just because I don't have a good reason. I just maybe love the other three more. It's so different. I would still die for him. I would die for Kendall, don't get me wrong. Like, look at him with his headphones and shades on. Like, how could you not? My number one boy, my number one boy. Putting number one in the sand, like, come on. I don't have a good reason as to why he's number 4. I just know I inherently love the other 3 more. So at number 3, I'm going... Oh, it's so hard. You guys need to let me know, like, in comment-wise, where would you put these for? I'm not going to ask you to rank all these. Do like the main 6 or something, how you'd kind of rank those, because I'm actually interested to see how different everyone's is. I'm going to go number 3, Shiv. Snaky, very snaky, or more a scorpion, as we learned from the show, for sure. 2, I'm going to go Tom. And maybe it is because we just ended on season 4, and I feel like Roman and Kieran Culkin especially gave the best performance he's given out the entire show in season 4. Like, if any of these actors deserve an Emmy for season 4 of Succession, it is Kieran Culkin, without a doubt. So maybe it's recency bias. Season 1 Roman, I did not really care for. I thought he's good. Season 2 onwards, I'd say, is where I really start to care about Roman in some way. And that just kind of progresses each season went on. Especially, like I say, in season 4, he was my favourite character in season 4. And I know this is meant to be like the entire show, I get it. But it is hard because all the seasons are just such on high level. Ooh, I'm going to put Roman at number 1. Roman, Tom, Shiv, Kendall. Like I say, all 4 of them could mix and match depending on the episode, to be honest. But they are 4 incredible characters, and if Logan was likable, he'd probably be up there as well. That kind of defeats his entire purpose of a character. So yeah, I won't say any of these characters are like utter poo on my shoe, like utter trash. Because even though some here are like not the most likable, they all bring something to the table for sure. So yeah, that's my Succession tier list. Like I said, I could have added 10 more characters in here. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a sibling, but I don't think so at the same time. So we'll forget about that. If that sibling that was possibly missing was to be ranked on this list, theoretically he would be at number 5. Whoever that might be, I don't know. I have like a name on the tip of my tongue. I don't know who it's on about, but we'll just say whoever it might be would have been at number 5 on my list because they're wholesome and we love them. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your ranking of maybe the main 6 down below, and I'll see you next time, whenever that might be. Maybe for the Idol episode 1, that'd be kind of fun to do. Until then, take care. Peace.